Hi everyone. If you are getting angry on small issues, is there any need of consulting of the doctor? If you are taking less salt, your blood pressure is going to be decreased? Or what are the different organs associated in controlling of your blood pressure? So to know all this, we will discuss today's topic is hypertension. Normally blood pressure is required so that blood can pass every part of our body which carries oxygen, nutrients and all. Okay, so normally normal blood pressure is 120 by 80. So 120 is said to be the systole and 80 is diastole. Systole in the sense when heart get contracted, the pressure asserted on the arteries are said to be the systolic blood pressure. Diastole in the sense when the heart is relaxed, is when it is filling blood again. So the pressure present in this arteries are called as diastole. So normally it is 80 mmHg. Okay, so here because of the various physiological conditions or maybe because of the habitual conditions, here the blood pressure is going to be varies. So here various factors like smoking, alcohol and food intake that plays a major role in blood pressure. So here normally the pre-hypertension it is 120 to 139. If it is in this margin, it is called as pre-hypertension. And stage 1 it is 140 to 159 and diastole is 90 to 99, and stage 2 equal to more than 160 systole and more than 100 is diastole. So here the blood pressure is not constant in everyone, its inter-individual variability is there. Say for example, if Negroes and white compare, the Negroes has higher blood pressure than compared to the whites. Likewise, if you compare males and females, so males obviously has the more blood pressure than compared to the females. So here the blood pressure can be broadly categorized as primary hypertension and secondary hypertension. So here if it is primary hypertension is a short living, okay, with unknown cause and etiology, whereas secondary hypertension is said to be because it is associated with some disease, maybe arterial or heart related disease is there, then we will see this secondary hypertension. So now the question, so if you are getting a frequent angry, okay, do you need to consult the doctor? It is basically a primary hypertension, so there is no need of consulting of the doctor. Only thing is you have to control your emotions. So next we will say like what are the different organs associated with blood pressure and how is going to be control your blood pressure. So here we will see, so here heart, liver, lung, kidney, endocrine system, these are the various organs associated to maintain your blood pressures. So let us know first what is actually the blood pressure. So here blood pressure is nothing but the cardiac output and peripheral resistance. Normally peripheral resistance is offered by our arteries. So here this is cardiac output and the peripheral resistance, it is called as blood pressure. So if you, so in hypertension you have the higher blood pressure, so you want to decrease this blood pressure. So either you can decrease the cardiac output or you can dilate the blood vessels, so by which we can attain this antihypertensive effect. Okay, so this hypertensive action is the prolonged hypertension may cause the damage of various vital organs that ultimately leads to the non-functioning of various organs that may lead to death. So it is prime important to maintain the blood pressure. Okay, here we will say like how different organs are going to be associated with the hypertension. So heart. So here when the heart decreases the cardiac output, so there will be activation of two systems. One is sympathetic nervous system and the renin-angiotensin system. Okay, first we will discuss about the renin-angiotensin system. Okay, so here when the blood supply to the kidney is decreases because of the decreased blood pressure, so here the renin is going to be released. This renin is going to be activate the angiotensinogen into the angiotensin 1 which is produced in the liver. So through systemic circulation it reaches to the liver and it will convert your angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1. So it is having the milder or moderate activity, angiotensin 1 on the blood vessels. It will allow the construction of these blood vessels. So here the angiotensin directly bind on the receptor and is going to be show its activity. So again this angiotensin 1 through systemic circulation it will enter into the lung, where we have a specific enzyme called as angiotensin converting enzyme. Okay, it will convert angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. The angiotensin 2 is a potent vasoconstrictor. So it will significantly constrict the blood vessels. So resulting of the cardiac, the blood which eject to the heart is going to be increased. That's how the heart get the higher amount of the blood. So this is how the hypotension is going to be treated. Okay, here exactly the reverse is going to be the hypertension. The next pathway is sympathetic nervous system, where we have the alpha and beta receptors. So if you are the agents acting on the alpha and beta can decrease the hypertension. How? We will discuss. So if the higher amount is there, so here we need to inhibit these angiotensin. So first we will coming to this drugs. So angiotensin system. So here we can broadly categorize the drug into alphabetical order A, B, C, D, E. In the sense, angiotensin system, drugs acting on angiotensin system, drugs acting on beta receptors, calcium channel blockers, diuretics and endothelial receptor antagonist. So ACE inhibitors, example captopril and enalapril. So what these ACE inhibitors do, they will inhibit the conversion of angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. So that inhibition of this enzyme, so it will there is no production of this angiotensin 2, that ultimately decrease the constriction of the blood vessel. So resulting the less blood can reach to the heart. So thereby the heart here in this case we are decreasing the cardiac output. So thereby we are controlling the blood pressure. Okay, so next angiotensin 1 receptor. So the main problem with the ACE inhibitor is it will produces the dry cough and dizziness, nausea, vomiting, etc. Rash, one of the major symptoms. So clinician can switch to the angiotensin 1 receptors, blocking agents. So these agents, so here normally angiotensin 1 bind to its receptor and show its moderate activity. So here these telmisartan, losartan, candesartan, these drugs will block this angiotensin 1 receptors, thereby the angiotensin cannot bind to these particular receptors. Hence, it cannot show its activity. Though blood constriction activity is going to be, it cannot be constrict the blood vessels. So next, alpha blockers. As we discussed sympathetic nervous system, so here alpha is going to be utilized in the constriction of the blood vessel. What we are doing is we are blocking these receptors by using prazosin, the drug. Prazosin, by using this, so we are blocking this receptor. So no adrenaline can bind to this alpha receptor and it shows its constricting activity. So these are the drugs related to the A. Next we will go for the beta blockers. Again in sympathetic nervous system, so beta 1 receptors are specific to the heart. So these beta 1 receptors, by blocking this beta 1 receptors by using atenolol and metonolol, propranolol, so obviously the heart rate can be decreased. When heart rate decreased, so obviously the cardiac output is going to be decreased and we can decrease the blood pressure. Next, calcium channel blockers. So these are the very important drugs: amlodipine, nifedipine, felodipine. So these in heart will be having two types of receptors. One is L receptor and T type receptor. So normally in pacemaker cells, the T receptors are going to be present, and myocardias L receptors are going to be present. So normally what happens? So when the calcium enters the cell, okay, there will be actin and myosin reaction is going to be take place, and increase the contractility of the muscle. Heart is going to be contracted. So by just inhibiting these calcium channel blockers, so here the contractility of the heart can be decreased. Thereby cardiac output can be decreased. So resulting of that, the blood pressure is going to be decreased. Another mode of treatment is diuretics. Diuretics, the agents which will increase the urine production. So normally with a certain pressure there will be filtering of these substances. So here the plasma is going to be gets filtered, and whatever the essential compound is going to be reabsorbed. This loop of Henle, thiazides and potassium sparing diuretics are going to be work in these areas. So what happens here? Loop diuretics are going to be inhibit this specific area. So where the sodium, potassium and the chlorine is inhibited of the reabsorption, resulting high concentration of the sodium is going to be present in this lumen. So that results higher volume, higher water can be present. So here you can excrete higher amount of the urine from this. So here ultimately we are decreasing the fluid in systemic circulation. So that is how the diuretics are going to be work. Example, furosemide and bumetamide. And endothelial receptor antagonist. So these drugs directly act on the smooth muscle of the blood vessel, where these receptors are going to be located. So by blocking these specific receptors by the drugs like bosentan and tazocitan, so we can block this constriction. So resulting of that, we can decrease the constriction of the blood vessels. So this is how the blood pressure or hypertension can be cured. So here we have to take the consideration of the adverse drug reactions in elderly people. So depending on that, the individual has to be prescribed the specific drug. Hope this video is useful. Thank you.